friends. Here's my Commodore 128D, which I'm kind of used to getting items that are not working when I receive them. But this one actually does work, seems to work fully functionally. And the 128, I think they said they made 4 million of them. I don't know how many were the 128D, but this is a lot more expensive than if you wanted to buy a regular 128. And of course the 128 is more expensive than a garden variety 64. But anyway, I got this in I bought both the 64 and this 128D from a gentleman by the name of Jeff. He just basically, tested it, made sure it worked, and sent it to me. So it's in the same condition that he got it in. He got it in some kind of estate sale. So you can see that it's got some scratches on it. And he said the keyboard's a little bit I see a problem right now with the keyboard, the shift key. I think this was working last time I tried it. Oh, and also you notice it has JiffyDOS, and so we have to investigate. There's actually a toggle switch here that I'll show you in a minute, but it looks like we have a problem. Oh, caps lock is on. And caps lock is in a weird place too. Here's shift lock, but here's caps lock. So basically shift lock and caps lock do the same thing. Yeah. Let me show you. I'm sure that if you had software that it took advantage of it, you'd actually get lowercase characters. But this computer functions just like a Commodore 64 when you're in the boot up screen, and the fact that it's caps only. And if I hit the caps lock on the top, it gives me that. If I hit J, it gives me that. If I hit the shift lock down here, exact same thing. So yeah, a little bit redundant there. So anyway, let's do something. So right now this is in composite output. This monitor here is like the best monitor for use with a Commodore 128 because it is a CGA monitor, in other words digital RGB, and it also is a composite monitor. Put it in composite mode and it'll display a 40 column display, and then if you switch the computer to 80 column mode, as long as you have the other cord plugged in, you can switch it over. So you change the display mode on the keyboard, and you push it down and it stays down, so it's an on-off toggle switch. And it's kind of interesting. So right now it's in 40 column mode, and if I switch over to the RGB input, it's just a blank screen. Okay, let's try this. Let's turn it off, and I'm going to push the 80 column display button. I'm going to turn it back on. But here you see that we're in the 40 column mode and there's nothing there. It's just a blank screen, but it still has an output. So if I switch it over to the other one, now we have the 80 column screen, and we could do things there. Yeah, this keyboard needs to be cleaned, but other than that, I'm sure it's fine. Seems to work. I wish you could smell this. It smells like an old computer. It more than even the Commodore 64 did. Yeah, it's got that strange smell. Is this thing... It's got a passively cooled power supply, and it must be located here because this part of the case is getting warm. So... yeah, anyway. All right, so let's see what happens. So what did that say? That was the 80 column mode, and it should have said JiffyDOS, right? Yeah, JiffyDOS. So this is this has a ROM that supports JiffyDOS, in either mode or whatever. I don't know if that's normal. So we'll turn it off, and the toggle switch somebody installed right here. So we'll flip that over, and then we'll boot up again. And sure enough, we have the default, yeah, 1977 Microsoft Corporation, because it's BASIC 7.0. Now, there was a different version of BASIC on the Commodore 64, so this is a later version of BASIC. And yeah, so we'll just switch it over to composite, turn the computer off, turn it back on. Now there is a reset switch on the side of the computer that we could use as well. So I don't know about flipping the toggle. I think it's just pulling an address line up or down. So let's do the toggle and hit reset if I can. There we go. There. It actually loaded up JiffyDOS. Yeah. I don't know if I do that normally. This computer is the first Commodore computer to auto boot off of floppy disks. So every time you turn it on, you hear the floppy drive seek, and if there's nothing in it, nothing happens. Anyway, so let's. This thing seems to be fully functional. Let's try a disk. So I was given these disks. I told Jeff to send me the disks. This is the blank that somebody had made, who put it in the drive to protect the heads. So I only asked for like a couple of disks, and he went overboard and got generous and sent me. Now I've tested these disks because I needed to just, you know, in case I wanted to find out if this drive was working ahead of time, closer to the time that he sent me. And of course I'm filming this video like a month after I received this unit from him. So I don't know which disk to do first. Let's go ahead and do the Commodore tutorial disk. Just kind of curious, is it going to auto boot? Is this the kind of disk that would auto boot? Oh, yeah, this is going to be annoying because Shift key doesn't work very well. No, it doesn't. The left Shift key is almost unusable. All right, your Commodore 128 personal computer. Thank you for helping Commodore continue its commitment to provide the best value for powerful person. This is kind of cool. The tutorial will introduce you to the Commodore 128 and allow you to experience how easy it is to operate. This tutorial will take approximately 2 hours. Oh yeah. Okay, well that disk works. Okay, let's just say that. Okay, yes, we're gonna, yes. I'm not gonna spend 2 hours going through a Commodore tutorial. Maybe I could do a deep dive into it later or whatever, but forget that. Okay, so Quantum Link program disk, and it just says, oh, this is also included game programs for Sea Strike and Hangman. Huh. Quantum Link program disk. So I think a lot of times the disk will detect, if I'm thinking that okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so the software detected something there, didn't it? But it auto booted. So yeah, that's a. And you know, this floppy drive that's in here is a 1571, which, if I remember correctly, is does higher density. Will work higher density than a 1541, and also has double sided. Okay, Quantum Link, Q-Link. It's some sort of modem program. Anyway, I haven't tried these yet, but whatever. Okay, so I think it's time. Well, let's go ahead and try the cartridge port, shall we? Ooh, that's kind of a scratchy connection. All right. Yeah. F3. F1 to start. Yeah. I think I'm in the wrong port because it's restarting the game. Yep. Okay. Anyway. All right, so let's take this thing apart. I've never seen inside of one of these. I have seen inside. I have a 128, a regular 128, and I actually installed dual booting ROMs, JiffyDOS and regular, into that one. And this one came that way, so now I have two. Let's pull this thing apart and refurbish it a little bit. Clean the drive heads, blow it out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, that smells, yeah, so this is the power supply. Not exactly caged for your safety. All right, so let's just take a look at the ROMs here closely. So the switch is down in here, and then you got the wires coming over, and they go over to the ROM switch. And okay, so there's a resistor here, and it's either a pull up or a pull down resistor. And so that means that there's power over here. There's either power or ground right here. And you're either pulling it up or pulling it down, depending upon whether this is a pull up or pull down resistor. And you're accessing the second part, the second half of this EEPROM chip, which is twice as big as the factory EEPROM chip. Expansion port, serial, video, low, high, and RF. So it's got an RF modulator built into it, and low, high is probably the channel 3, channel 4 thing. And then you've got that the user port that all Commodore 64s have, and then you've got the RGB-I output. Anyway, how do you get in there to clean the heads is my question. The heads are parked back here. Oh, but you can move them carefully. So if we take this top cover off, we can clean that. But I mean, I'm not used to this. There's not much to do with this that we need to do with this Commodore 128. So let's look at some of the date codes on here. This one has the 6526. Is that a CIA chip or something? That has a date code of 88. This one here has a date code of 87. 8721, 88, 88. So all these chips are have a date code of all these chips have a date code of 1988, it would appear. So this is the oldest chip here, it says 87, but all the other ones say 88. And of course you go by the latest year to judge when this was made. And Commodore owned MOS Technologies and the makers of these chips. So it didn't take long for the chip manufacturer to get the chips to the computer manufacturer. So It's usually closer than just about anybody else as far as looking at the dates on the chips. Anyway, all right, so let's take the this part off and ooh, okay. I have the wrong size screwdriver. Hold on. Okay. Just sprayed some alcohol on the anti-static mat and we're going to gently